Good evening and welcome to another edition of Cooking with Michael. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We really appreciate it as always. This week, nothing really different, a great episode. But we are going to do a little bit of a different dish. As you've seen over the last few weeks, we've done a couple of different kind of takes. We've done a dessert from the Netherlands. Last week was a soup that was from my heritage, matzo ball soup. But tonight, you know, we always talk about date night dinners, and we talk about how it is, a great thing for your loved one, spouse, what have you, and of course it is. But sometimes, you want to make some appetizers. That's right. Sometimes you want to start the meal off with something, and starting with a salad's good and that kind of thing. But we're going to make a really cool appetizer tonight. Quick appetizer, but a fun appetizer. This one is called crab balls, fried crab balls. Now, fried crab balls. If you've ever seen a crab ball, what it is, it's on the male crab, it's a very, very tiny little speck you have to find under the shell, and you take them out and you play with them. Oh, different kind of balls. No, so anyway, so what they really are is they are crab meat mixed with a bunch of different seasonings, rolled in breadcrumbs, and then deep fried. So it doesn't take very long. The whole prep takes about 10, maybe 15 minutes. And then you have yourself a nice crab ball appetizer that can go with pretty much anything you want to make for dinner. So, hope you enjoyed the episode. When you come back, we'll show you everything that goes into it. We'll show you how to make the crab balls, and then we'll try them, taste them, love them as always, and have a great date night. So, we'll be right back. Okay, you can see the ingredients we're using for this evening. 1 pound of crab meat, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, minced garlic, Old Bay. We are using breadcrumbs, 3 eggs, and of course, instead of the Pinot Grigio, we are using beer. Why are we using beer? Because it is a beer night. We'll show you how to put it all together here in just a minute. All right, and we're back. You just saw the ingredients we're going to use, so we're going to dive right into this. First things first, I know it's always a Pinot Grigio night here at Cooking with Michael, but tonight, crab balls, fried crab balls. Whenever you're eating balls.
Women love huge balls. Love them.
Now, whenever you're eating an appetizer or fried crab balls, something that I like to call a bar type food, it goes well with beer. So tonight, we're not going to be doing Pinot Grigio. But we have beer, and beer is always good. So, and as always, thank you to Andrew from Chapel Beer and Wine for making sure we had our beer for the night. So let's get started after I have a couple more drinks of my beer. Because I need to drink when we do this. So, and hell, if I'm playing with balls on camera, I'm going to need beer.
Hey, this can work. Hey, it's like a hoppity hop. Ha! Ah!
All right, so first thing we're going to do, you can see we're going to use our skillet. So this is the first time we're actually using our skillet. I'm so excited, at least on camera. I'm so excited about this. Again, thank you from Andrew, Chapel Beer and Wine, who provided us with the skillets. So we're really, really excited. So anyway, so there's our skillet. It has been already seasoned. So what we're going to do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stick of butter. I'm going to turn this on to basically a medium to medium high. Let that melt, okay? When it's fully melted, then we're going to take our minced garlic, and we're going to take minced garlic, which we called at Aldi. Anybody think this is creepy, by the way, that I'm stalking Aldi? What the hell, I'm also playing with balls, so why not?
Women love huge balls. Love them.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to let that melt, and then I'm going to take 3 teaspoons of garlic, minced garlic, and because as you know, 1 teaspoon equals a clove, I'm going to cook that in there and kind of get it nice and cooked. So, and then after that, we're going to add our crab meat. Now, I did go to my fishmonger today and got fresh crab meat. That's right, it is now crab season. So, and you've watched us use crab meat before with crab cakes, what have you. I like the claw meat. I like the claw meat because it's just a little bit sweeter. It just makes a great taste for these. So we're going to warm that in the skillet before we roll it and add all the spices. So anyway, all right, you can see it's bubbling just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and actually you can hear it. Maybe you can't, but you can hear it starting to sizzle just a little bit. So we're going to take 3 teaspoons of garlic. And you're going to stir this up. It looks like it's about done. There's really not a way to test it. It's more of a time thing. So 1 or 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, something like that. Then we're going to take the crab meat. There's our crab meat. And I'm going to put this right into the skillet. Now, I'm not really going to cook it completely. Understand, you don't really... The crab meat is going to cook when you deep fry it. All I'm really doing at this point is really making the crab meat warm. And I'm also soaking up that butter and the garlic too. So that's really all this part is for. So what I'm really going to do is just stir the crab meat around. And again, just enough to get warm. Okay. This will take just another minute or two. So it's been a couple minutes and that's good enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the skillet. And I'm literally just going to pour this right back into the bowl that it came from. Okay. Because we're actually going to mix the seasonings and everything in here. So, all right, so you're going to do this, and this is really weird. So what we're going to do is after we make it nice and warm, and again, we did this to make it warm to soak up the butter and the garlic, you're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes to cool back off so you can then make it into the balls. All right, but while we're doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to heat up the oil. This will actually take about 10 minutes to get to a nice temperature for the deep frying. So actually it works out really, really well. So we'll let that go for 10 minutes. We'll let this go for 10 minutes. And then when we come back, we will show you how to add all of the different seasonings to it. We'll be right back. All right. It's been 10 minutes. Our oil is nice and ready to go. So now we're going to go ahead and make the crab mixture and make them into balls so we can go ahead and deep fry them. So what I'm going to do, first things first, you saw on our on the ingredients, we're using 3 eggs. So what I basically did was I took an extra bowl and make sure it's nice and mixed up, okay? Take this aside, put that in there. All right, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my crab meat that's now cooled off, and I am going to, anyway, go ahead and put the crab meat into that mixture of eggs. Put that aside. And then we're just going to mix it up. Now the fun begins. And when I say the fun begins because it's all about seasoning now. And this is where you can have some fun. Season the taste. So we haven't used it yet. So we're going to use garlic powder, onion powder, of course, salt and pepper. And we're in Maryland, so of course I have to use Old Bay. And you're really going to season this, again, to taste. Know your audience, but also know what you like too. So add the seasonings in as you go. And remember, the seasoning, we always talk about Symphony, not a solo. The seasoning is not supposed to overpower the crab. It is supposed to complement. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the seasonings in, and then we're going to add the breadcrumbs to kind of soak up all that liquid before we then go to the next step. So what I'm going to do, all right, I'm just going to take, let's take some salt. And you know me, I'm not a big fan of measuring. So we'll just put some salt over top there. And we'll do some, actually that was, so we'll put some pepper on top of there. Now we'll do the salt. I've only had 1 beer so far. More are coming, but I've only had 1 beer. All right. Regardless of which direction you do it, salt and pepper. All right. Onion powder. I'm going to put some onion powder, not a lot, just enough to add a little bit of flavor to it. And the same thing with garlic, okay? We're going to take the Old Bay. Now, this is the only time you're going to add Old Bay, so make sure you add enough, and if you have to stir it up to kind of get a sense of what have you. Again, Old Bay is a nice, potent seasoning, so you don't want to overpower it, but again, it is Maryland, so we want to make sure we put enough in there. So, all right, that should be good. Now the fun part. You want to take breadcrumbs, okay? And you want to take just your breadcrumbs, and you want to take the unseasoned. because you've just put seasonings into the crab meat. So if you're adding seasoned breadcrumbs, it's going to throw the whole mixture off a little bit. So you don't want to do that. So just unseasoned breadcrumbs. And we're just going to pour in there. Now, it calls for a couple of cups, but let's be honest. As I said, I am not the most in measuring. Now, the other thing I want to do is, since we are playing with balls, got to get out our rubber gloves. Now, we're not going to ask the balls to turn their head and cough. But hey, if you're with your spouse, your date night, your loved one, and you want to play with these, more power to you. All right, so we're just going to basically mix this up, okay? And you want to mix it to where it's almost dry. Now, put that aside for a second. We're going to take, and this is just really about a place to hold them. You want to pretty much just go ahead and make them into the balls. Crab balls. If my dad were still alive, he would ask if we ever saw crab balls, and we'd say, well, yes, we have. And his response would be, well, how'd you get their legs apart so easily? He made the same joke with mothballs and pretty much anything else that he can make. My dad was the king of bad dad jokes. I'm going to run out of space on my cookie sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these out of the way just a second here. And I'm going to bring over... Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just basically take some breadcrumbs. And this one is actually a panko breadcrumb. Okay. Or I'm going to get my fryer ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my crab balls and just roll them in the breadcrumbs. Okay. And you want to cook maybe 4 to 6 at a time, because you really don't want them touching in the fryer. Really want to look for a golden brown, okay? Ooh, that one kind of fell apart. You want to look for a golden brown. When it's golden brown on the outside, it is done. So we're going to do 5 now, and what we're going to do is we're going to drop these in here. Slowly, always put into the oil slowly so it doesn't explode on you. If you have to. Put the lid on so it doesn't do it. Alright, so while those are cooking, we're going to just, and keep an eye on them, because they do cook pretty quickly. You don't want them to be too burnt. Nice golden brown. Okay, so just keep it on, like I said, a minute, 2 minutes, something like that. Pretty quick, pretty easy. So you can see actually just after a very short time, let them drain out. And I'm going to take them out. I'm going to put them right onto paper towel. Let them dry from the grease a little bit. And as always, when the grease is done, you, of course, do not want to pour the grease down your sink. As I always say, pour it into a coffee can, or pour it when it's fully cold, pour it into a bag or something like that, and dispose of it properly in a garbage can. That way you do not ruin your pipes, do not ruin the environment, do not ruin your date night, because your loved one, spouse, date night is all ticked off because you ruined the pipes in the house. So again, make sure that's very important. So make sure you do that, and that's one less issue you have to worry about. I mean, it's already bad enough you're playing with balls before your date night. So depending on what you and your date night are into, this might be really exciting or not. All right, so the crab balls are done. I've taken off my gloves. I think I've done enough crab ball jokes. So I'm going to grab my beer. And so they're done. You saw me take them all out. They look good. I put a couple on a plate here. Show you what they look like. There they go. Just great appetizer. You can put a little toothpick in them, what have you. But I'm going to go ahead and just take a bite of them. They're probably hot. Mmm. Oh, these are so good. Oh, they're so good. Hold on. Mmm. So that's it. I've got my beer, I've got my crab balls. And I've got a great appetizer for a dinner that, whatever dinner you want to do. And actually, it's going to be good for, there's enough of them, actually. You can see we made a lot of them, actually. So, 1 pound of crab meat really does do a nice nice amount of them. So it could be a dinner, too. Depends on how much you and your loved one, spouse, date night, what have you, want to eat. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved it. I hope you try it. Remember, we have our contest going on, so make some comments. Show us if you tried it. Show us what it looks like. Tell us what you think. Contest is going to set it for another 3 weeks, so we want to be able to send some swag out to people. So please, 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 do what you got to do and comment and tell us what you thought of it. So anyway, as always, please, if you love the video, which I'm sure you did, please share it with as many people as you want. The more shares we get, the more people that get to see it because it shows up on the feeds. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and let's have this thing that we love to do go all over the place. So, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Crab balls. Great, easy appetizer. Drink some beer, have a great date night dinner, and as always, we will see you next Saturday night, every Saturday, 8 p.m. on Cooking with Michael. Thanks and good night.